What is going on, everybody? My name is Clutch Sometimes, bringing you our team builder for week 1 of the IBL. We are up against Kohanx and his Reno Raikou. His team is on the right, as already is shown. I'm really excited for this team. I really like this team. It's kind of fun. And Kohanx is a very solid player, very kind of revered around some leagues, I think. We played him in March Madness. I think there was an unfortunate misclick on his end that ended up giving me a win, but so we are 1-0 technically against Kohanx. Kohanx is a really strong guy, really cool guy as well. His team consists of Tornadus T, Necrozma, Rotom Heat, Muck, Alolan Muck, Slurpuff, Piloswine, Mega Heracross, Garchomp, Melodic, Lefkey, and Dusknoir. You can already see that as well on my right, but I just wanted to read through that. So very, very kind of key looks at this team. Torn's not going to be a problem for me most of the entire game. It just kind of comes in on everything, and it deals with it. If I can get I just need to get my Stealth Rocks up. I need to chip it down with some of my mons. Necrozma is a ginormous threat as well. His top 2 mons absolutely terrify me. Mainly just because Necrozma doesn't need much more than Photon Geyser and Heat Wave to cover my team perfectly. So it can run some really dastardly sets on that front. I have a couple things I think will help deal with it, but it's not going to be easy whatsoever. Rotom Heat's gonna be kind of annoying, but a lot of this a little bit annoying. Muck's really annoying. I don't have the best Nox switch-ins. Piloswine's a decent rocker against me. It's nice to check the offensive Lando. Heracross is a problem, but there's a couple things I have decent switches to, but just those top 2 are so problematic for me that I think that's where my matchups are tougher. Garchomp's obviously very good, decent against me as well. So starting off with the team, my game plan. Looking at this team, I felt like my best game plan was Dragon his Haxorus, because he doesn't have very good Scarfers, and his Scarfers don't want to lock. His potential Scarfers really don't like locking against me. He is one potential Scarfer that can outspeed my Haxorus at +1 is his Garchomp, which if it locks Earthquake, I have Landorus plus Rotom. If he locks Dragon, I have my Sylveon. So Scarf Garchomp cannot beat me, essentially. So which makes Dragonet's Haxorus just so good against him. So essentially that is going to be the game plan. It's try and set up for my Dragonet's Haxorus in the end game. So first member of the team is going to be my Landorus Therian. Very excited to use this. If you go way back in the channel, way back, very, very beginning, you'll see me using the Landorus in the PCL. I think it was Season 2 of the PCL. I uploaded a few games with the Landorus. Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing with that at the time. So it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth with Landorus. So I am trying it again here. Dad is alive and well. So first week, bringing more defensive Landorus, offensive Landorus, as I mentioned. Also huge shoutouts to M Dragon for the prep help this week. So important, man. Such a great dude. He's been on the channel a few times, but he's on the channel for PRs and stuff for the UPA. Great guy, great coach, great player. Anyway, we are defensive Landorus because it just great checks to Garchomp, potentially a physically offensive Necrozma, because Photon plus Knock is pretty decent coverage against him. Necro is so terrifying. I hate playing that mon. Because Photon plus Knock's pretty good. If you Rock Polish, he could totally be double dance and 2 attacks and just completely clobber me. So that is going to be the goal, is just to try and deny it that in total. Just give it enough pressure where it doesn't get that chance. So Stealth Rock Landorus, Earthquake is good stab. It hits his team pretty incredibly hard. Eden Power Flying is there literally for the Mega Heracross. It's a chance to OHKO no bulk after rocks. I think it's a 70% chance at level 50, but this VDF, I always live a Tornadus T Sky Strike from full. Torn is a Z user and is 100% coming as a Z user. I think it's going to be Z-Grass personally, but I could totally I could also see a Z-Fly just because it's a decent nuke against me. You just throw off a Z-Fly and you're hurts something a lot, especially including my Rotom, but like, regardless, moving on, rocks are rocks, and U-turn is just there for momentum. I want to try and get my Roserade and my Hariyama in as much as I possibly can in the early to mid game, just to try and like break through this team for Haxorus in the late game. That's my Landorus defensive. This speed is from Adam Mega Heracross, defense for Torn. The speed for Torn, defense is there just as a dumb stat. It is nice for Mega Heracross, especially in Garchomp as well. So moving on, next member of the team going to be my Rotom Wash. We are a kind of Spadef heavy Rotom in this game. 68 plus. We always guaranteed live a Gracium Z from a Z Tornadus from full. Every time we get our Iapapa back up, we get the Volt Switch, etc. Toxic is there mainly for the Necrozma, there for the Piloswine, there for the Garchomp. Melodic if I get it in before, unless it's Flame Orb. Like, this thing is I'm trying to make this thing as big of a pain as possible, and hoping that I can just like, I'll try not to show off our moves if Pylo/Garchomp is still around, just because I don't want to run. I'm not running Hydro, so obviously I can't touch them. So that's kind of an interesting portion of this set. Pain Split is great for getting recovery back on Necrozma, Melodic, Muck potentially as well. Just weakening those, healing me back up. Just a great pivot for this team. It helps me deal with those kind of bulkier mons, can weaken them for my Haxorus and my Hariyama and my Roserade. So not much to say about this. It's a very simple mon. Rotom's really good. I love this Pokemon so much. Anyway, so moving on to our next member is, because like what I wanted to do with this team, because I know I have the speed advantage, my team is so much faster than his. Like after like Garchomp, his team gets really slow. So like I definitely want to try and abuse that. So I am going to bring an expert Belt Roserade, just 4 attacks, 3 attacks Sleep Powder, Dazzle, Sludge Bomb, Leaf Storm, Sleep Powder with an expert belt. Natural Cure is mainly there for Klefki, so I can come in on like Thunder Waves, Toxics, or whatever. Klefki has to run like so many different moves in this game. It's really, really bad for it, honestly. It wants to run Spikes, but Rotom's gonna defog them. It wants to run Psyshock for my Roserade. It wants to run Gleam for my Haxorus and my Absol, which I'm not bringing in this game. What else do I have going on? It wants Toxic for my Toxic/HPS for my Landorus. It wants Magnet Rise for Landorus. Like, it has a lot of things it wants to run, but it cannot fit all of them. So trying to take advantage of that is going to be my Roserade. Sleep Powder is mainly there for dealing Muck, so I can, like, if he wants to go Muck on like a Dazzle or something like that, I can just put it to sleep and just gives me a safe opportunity to switch out into potentially my Hariyama, potentially my Landorus. Like, it helps in that scenario just because like I don't want to because like Roserade doesn't have obviously reliable recovery, so Roserade getting pursued a couple of times would obviously kill it and be my kill off my best way of dealing with the Melodic. So keeping this thing is healthy enough to deal with Melodic is going to be very important. And honestly, like if I can deal with the Muck or the Torn, Roserade just absolutely just slaughters his team. And like so that's gonna be Roserade, pretty standard. Just like not this team isn't very like special. It's just I just think it's a solid team. Moving on to the big boy, the big win con, Dragon Dance Haxorus. Very standard Dragon Dance 3 attacks. Lum mainly just for the Klefki. That way we just don't get Thunder Wave. Like we can like guarantee deal with that. Mold Breaker is great for multi-skill and Melodic, as well as like Levitate on Whip Heat, so I can just Earthquake that and not to worry about it, like Dragon Claw not killing. Poison Jab, they're literally just for the Slurpuff, so I don't lose to that on like stabs. So pretty standard Haxorus, nothing really special about it. It's just a Dragon Dance mon, and it totally like wins against him in the like late game for sure. So I had gotten to like this point plus like Sylveon, which you'll see in a minute. It's just a standard Wish Pass Sylveon. Spadef is nice for Necro. I think I can take +2 special Photon Geyser after rocks with it. 12 just to have a little speed tech. Rest put in defense, Wish Protect, Hybrid, nothing super standard. So I had gotten to this point in the build and I was like, I don't know what to do. Talking with M-Dragon, like it's kind of hard. Because at this point, these 5 jive really well. Sylvie on wish passing to like this team is really great for me. Because like he has things that obviously pressure it out, and I have obviously things that can come in on the things that pressure it out. So it's like it's a really good pairing in my opinion. So it's just a really natural fit, and keeping Landers healthy for Heracross, and like potentially healing up Roserade, etc., etc. Like it has a lot of good opportunities. So the last one on the team, I felt like really weak to Muck. So I just kind of, I'm trying first like suggest a Talon, which is like a taunt toxic roost set, but like it just didn't feel right. And I was like kind of like listing off why I couldn't bring things like, I think I mentioned Hariyama, and like I like the downside is like kind of send Cosmo, but like it also like does a shitload to it Guts. So we went with the Guts Hariyama, max attack, max speed. The speed, max speed Adamant Hariyama actually gets past Melodic by a single point. So this thing is just this thing gets a kill almost every time it's in, because I click Facade or Knock. Mainly, I'm just gonna spam Facade at this team, honestly. If I get sent on Muck, I'm clicking Facade, and the Crossmow's taking like 70. It is going to hurt, man. So Hariyama's there just to like come in on Muck and like I just break for Haxorus in the end game, like. Because this thing is like, Facade kills like a max HP Torrent after Stealth Rock, so he does not really have any switch in the Facade plus close combat plus like anything. Fake Out's mainly just there for like the extra priority, plus like making sure I can proc up my Flame Orb. So like, yeah, so that's gonna be the team this week. I have yet to play the match as of recording this. I think we play tomorrow. Just wanted to make sure I had my team kind of like in my head. Like it's very good for me to like position that. So yeah, so that's gonna be it for me. We will see you guys with the battle.
And now it is time for the battle. And here it's the preview. There is no Tornadus, so that's a huge sigh of relief. He did bring the Klefki, the Garchomp, the Alolan Muck, the Necrozma, which those 3 right there. Like, 3 anyway, covering the Melodic. The middle 4 I felt like were pretty obviously coming. About the Rhythm Heat as well. So I felt like the back end, the front and the back would have been like a Tornadus T and a Piloswine. I thought that was really good against me, but obviously he opted for different options out of it, so I'm pretty okay with that. I'm looking at preview. My Roserade looks really, really nice, especially sleep. Putting to sleep Necrozma, putting to sleep Muck is really great for me. My Landorus, if I was offensive Landorus, I felt like if I was like offensive Rockium Landorus, I smashed this team. Oh my goodness. So my Landorus looks really good. My Hariyama, if I position it in on the Alolan Muck, I get to claim KOs. And if I break this team properly enough, I get to absolutely smash with Haxorus. So looking at my lead matchup, you can obviously see I chose to lead Rotom Wash, you chose to lead the Klefki. I just led off with Rotom. I felt like it was a pretty safe lead. I can throw Toxic, I can Volt Switch. It doesn't really put me in any bad position, so I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to lead off with my Rotom Wash. So, we are going to be challenged by Kohanx. I'm actually going to take the speed up just a little bit, sorry. And I'm going off with my Rotom Wash here. So, and he's going to lead off with his Klefki, DJ Khaled, and Quarter Please, making its first appearance of the season. So I'm just gonna go for a Volt Switch here. As you obviously see, he's going to throw a Toxic. I wanted to go hard Roserade in the spot, but I didn't want to risk him making a really aggressive play and going for like a Psyshock on my Switch. So I thought that Volt Switch was just the overall safest play, especially since I really don't need a ton of health on my Rotom for his Tornadus, which obviously did not come. So I get to fire off a pretty free Volt Switch into his team here. It's going to do about 25% to the Klefki. I can't really get much off of that. And I'm going to my Roserade here. And I'm just going to put some I'm going to attempt just to put something to sleep. I lose absolutely nothing by putting something to sleep here. So, especially if he goes Muck, which I feel like could be a pretty solid response to my Roserade. And he goes Muck, and I'm going to miss my Sleep Powder, which is fine. I'll just go for another one on this turn. I am going to land this one, which is going to be very, very nice for me. So, at this point, I just want to switch out into my Hariyama, get my Flame Orb off, do absolutely everything, and just start hurting stuff with my Hariyama. So I'm going to do exactly that. He's going to take his turn to sleep. I'm going to try and switch out. He is going to show that he has pursuit because his sleep turn activates before I switch. So that is good information to know. I get out of my Hariyama, I get my Flame Orb activated, and I'm ready. I'm gonna click Facade, and he's gotta find his switch in. So he's going to find his switch in. It is going to be the Clef Key, calling my Facade. Very nice play. It's going to do a ton of damage. So at this point, I'm just going to switch out, I believe, into my Rotom Wash. I felt like that's a pretty safe play. Yep, I go to my Rotom Wash. Again, dodging the central side shock play, and he goes for a Dazzling Gleam, going to bounce off my Rotom. Does absolutely nothing. I'm going to take another turn Toxic. And right here, I'm just going to go for another Volt Switch. I felt like it's pretty free. And as you can see, it's going to pop him in Papa Berry range. So this Clef Key that was almost dead, I have to come back in, and it's going to be out of range of Facade one more time. So I go back into my Roserade here. And he's going to for Foul Play, so he's going to bounce off it. I'm going to make a really aggressive double switch into my Landorus. Trying to call his potential Alolan Muck. That way I can get my Stealth Rocks up. So, as you can see, I do get the play right. He's going to go into his, except he's going to make a different play into his Rotom Heat. So, I am going to stay and get my Stealth Rocks up. I felt like I didn't need my... I didn't value a ton of health in Landorus, so it was nice for Garchomp, but I didn't feel like... I felt like I had other checks to it. So I'm going to stay in here. If he opts to go for a Will-O-Wisp, then I can take that, obviously. And I don't need my Landorus hitting that hard in this game. And if I get my Rocks up, I get my Rocks up, and then I can always pivot out to my Sylveon. But he's going to make the aggressive play here. He's going to go for the Volt Switch, calling my Switch. And at this point, I'm going to go for the U-turn here, knowing that I am faster. I get so much information out of that turn. And I'm going to get the Rocky Helmet chip. It's going to happen. And I go to my Sylveon here. I know he really can't touch me. He is shown, as he's going to show Defog here. So he's showing Volt Switch Defog. I feel like he has to have Overrate for my Roserade, and his last move is either Wisp or Pain Split. So he's going to throw off a Volt Switch here into my Sylveon. It's going to do nothing. And I'm going to Wish up here. If he wants, he's going to make the play into his Muck to pressure my Sylveon, which is kind of like this Wish provides me. So this Wish will provide me into a very, very easy pivot into my Hariyama, which I am going to make. Because I can get my Wish into my Hariyama, I can take any one hit from this range of health I'm at, I can get my Wish back up, and I can absolutely annihilate something. He's going to show the Gunk Shot. And it kind of made me wish I went Landorus there, that I can get my Rocks back up, but this puts me in a much more commanding position than Landorus would have put me in. So, obviously, I get to just click Facade or Close Combat. I debated clicking Close Combat, but I didn't want to cause my coming because it's a big, big threat. So, I'm just going to throw off another Facade. I have a couple really easy switches to Klefki. He's going to, if he wants to go to that, and as he does. So, I throw off a big Facade. I'm going to do a big chunk of damage, another 35-40%. The Clef Key. As he is shown Toxic, Dazzling Gleam, and Foul Play. I need to go back to my Roserade. He obviously cannot touch me. And as he goes Dazzling Gleam to about 20% to my Roserade. Now I'm in a very healthy amount of range, and I'm going to go for the Leaf Storm because I'm going to get switch into it. So we were going to get our first KO of the season, first KO of the IBL. Actually, we are the first game to get played. So, and Klefki is going to go down. Roserade picking up his first kill as he goes out into his Garchomp. And I felt like, at this point, Garchomp's obviously a big threat. My Landorus is still at full health. I get to make that play very, very easily. So, I'm just going to pull that switch right away into my Landorus T. I'm going to intimidate off with Garchomp. And he's going to set up his Stealth Rocks, which is fine. I seem really not weak to Stealth Rock, and I have a really great Defogger against him in Rotom. So, I'm going to strip my leftovers here. And I'm just going to throw off my own Earthquake, as he's going to show off the Toxic, which I think is very nice, honestly, because obviously, without the Z move, which he's not the Garchomp, he really can't break my Landorus. I'll throw off an Earthquake here. This is uninvested Landorus, keep that in mind. It's going to do 50 to Garchomp. Man, this Pokemon is so strong. Get my leftovers back, take Toxic. At this point, I'm going to set my Stealth Rocks, I believe. He's going to pull the switch into his Rotom Heat. Yeah, and I'm trying to click again. If you wanted to stay in with Garchomp, try and get damage off my Landorus, I got Garchomp out of the turn. And if he went Rotom, he would have defogged him away anyway. So I'm just gonna throw off a U-turn here. I honestly wanted a hard switch. I felt like This just kind of like, it's just more chip, but I am going to take the Raikou helmet. And I'm going back into my Sylveon, as he really does not punish it super, super well. He overheats here, just trying to get good damage off my Garchomp, my Landorus. And I'm gonna take this turn to Wish Up. I feel like this is a very, very easy wish. Even if he goes Muck, I can protect, get myself back up to near full. And he goes exactly what he's going to do. And I'm going to Wish Up. I really wish I could have passed this to something, but I'm just gonna throw for Protect here. I lose nothing by going for Protect, I feel. So, because this Muck obviously is shown just to be like kind of a bulky variant, it is shown, and it's going to show Knockoff here, Knockoff Gunk Shot, Pursuit, which means it's either Recycle or Ice Punch, or he'll show this last move here in a bit, which is neither of those moves, it being Shadow Sneak, but I feel like Landorus is a pretty safe play at this point in time. So I get the Intimidate drop, he's going to gunk me, which is going to do a decent chunk to my Landorus, even at -1. It's a really defensive Landorus, so I still did a good amount. But with Rocks plus Poison, racking up, it's going to do a little bit more. So at this point, I feel like he values his Muck, so I'm just going to try to set a Stealth Rock on a switch as he decides to stay in. Okay. I didn't really value the damage on Muck at this point in the game, so he's going to go for a knockoff here, do very little with Landorus T, and I'm going to die to the poison. So, Garchomp's going to take his first kill, and we are tied up 5-5. And I get however, this is the freest Hariyama, and I get to click. I'm going to click Facade. I'm going to click Close Combat here. I believe I clicked Close Combat here because I felt like I've clicked Facade a couple of times at that point. So if he wanted to stay in, I want to try and catch him staying in, as I'm going to knock out the Garchomp. The crit does not matter, and Hariyama is going to get another kill in this game. Hariyama just an absolute beast so far today. So at this point, he's going to go out into his Necrozma, and this is a really, really key turn here, in my opinion. So he's going to take Rocks here at this point in the game. So I wanted to make sure I could always punish Necrozma setup. I didn't want him being covert, I didn't want him being anything, so I'm going to stay in on his Necrozma and click Facade. And as you can see, Kohanx is going to make a very, very aggressive play in this game. And he's going to double into his Alolan Muck, trying to call my Sylveon, which is a very nice play. However, I couldn't let him set up, so I'm going to stay and get Facade. I'm going to get a ton of damage off on this thing. And even at -1, we are going to take the Alolan Muck's Shadow Sneak. Hariyama just absolutely pulling through. Hariyama is going to get its second kill of the season on the Alolan Muck. Just absolutely opening up my Sylveon to check this entire team. And takes about a 6 health, going back out to Necrozma. Again, I'm going to make the same play of staying in, clicking Facade. Cannot let them get a Calm Mind up for free. And we're going to just focus on guys on me into this guy. And Hariyama is going to take its seat on the bench with 2 kills. Very nice performance from it today. However, this is a pretty free Sylveon for me. I'm at full. I'm going to take Rocks, but I'm still not to a KO with my investment. So, and he's going to start with a sub. So that's like fine with me. I went for Toxic. But at this point, I know this Necrozma doesn't have setup or doesn't have Heat Wave. So I felt like it had to have one of the two. You can show off the Moonlight, or it didn't have the cover exactly. So I'm just gonna sit here and spam Hyper Voice, and he can't 2KO me without setup moves. So obviously I can just sit in front of this thing for as long as I want and click Hyper Voice, and he's going to lose his exchange eventually, because eventually I will crit. That is how this is going to work. And both one of us is going to crit, and it's going to be sad. And I do have outs for Necrozma. I feel like I have better outs for Necrozma. So I'm gonna do a good chunk here, and he's going to show. He's gonna show the Moonlight here. I don't even have to wish really. And he's going to switch out his Necrozma, it's very low, and go into his Melodic and get Take Rocks. He's going to take this Hyper Voice, and he's going to get his Flame Orb activated, as you will see. So at this point, I don't ever risk my Roserade hard. I'm always going to make the safe play. I feel like I'm in a really, really good spot. My Haxorus is in a prime position to win. So I'm always going to pivot into my Rotom first. We call his Ice Beam, his Toxic, his whatever. And you can show for the recover here, which is fine. And I'm just going to Volt Switch here. I don't feel like I lose much by Volt Switch, because obviously his Melodic is faster than me. But I'm going to Volt Switch here as he goes into his Necrozma to sack it off. So, which is a perfect situation for me, because it gives me my Roserade, which means I can either put him into sleep or I can just throw off a Leaf Storm. And I have my Stealth Rocks up, I 2 KO everything on his team with Leaf Storm and his Ledge Bomb. So, except unless he makes the correct play and obviously goes into his Rotom Heat, which obviously I still have my Sylveon for, which he cannot beat with his Rotom Heat. So I'm in a really, really prime position at this point in the time. And he throws off a Will-O-Wisp trying to just get some damage, trying to call my aggressive switch into a Haxorus. So now I am going to throw off a Volt Switch here. I am faster. And I'm just going to go back into my Sylveon. Just like it takes any one hit from this, his Molotov targets to punish it as well. So he defogs my his Rock's Way, which also defogs my and his Rock's Way. So no one gets rocks in this game, which is fine by me. He definitely struggled with rocks more than I did. So at this point, I get to throw off a Wish, I believe. No, I throw off a Hyper Voice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm throwing a Hyper Voice here, do a good chunk, and I'm always going to pivot into my Rotom and Volt Switch into my Roserade and try and just finish off this Melodic. So let's go Rotom. He starts to punish it. And I'm going to take the Ice Beam here. He cannot freeze me because I am poisoned, and I'm going to get knocked with poison damage. I'm going to get knocked into range of my Iapapa Berry. So Rotom Wash is going to go all the way back up. And I'm just going to Volt Switch here into my Roserade. I feel like he is forced to recover here. If he doesn't recover, my Haxorus then wins the game. So I'm going to go into my Roserade here. Photosynthesis primed to do more work as well as he recovers up. And I'm going to throw off a Leaf Storm here onto the Roserade, onto the Melodic. Pretty easy play, and I'm going to throw off Leaf Storm, and we're going to miss, and he's going to take us out with the Ice Beam. So this Melodic then has now just become a little bit more of a problem. With it dodging the Ice Beam, my Leaf Storm, which would have been dead, and I would have been able to just go hard on my Lump Haxorus and get the kill on Rotom. The game would have been done. I would have won 4-0. However, I can no longer do that. I have one play now, and that is to only go into my Haxorus. It is the only thing at +1 I can 2 KO this variant to Melodic 100% of the time, even if it's max defense. The fact that it has Flame Orb means I can always 2 KO. So we are going to do exactly that. I'm going to my Haxorus, going to Dragon Dance up to +1 if he wants to recover. That's fine. If he wants to throw Toxic, that is also fine. There is nothing he can do to punish my Haxorus setting up. He cannot freeze me, he cannot Toxic, he cannot freeze me with Ice Beam. Is the freest Dragon Dance. And at this point, I'm just going to throw off a Mold Breaker Dragon Claw. It breaks through the Marvel Scale, and this will always 2 KO with burn damage. So, I'm going to do a ton of damage. Melodic is going to throw off an Ice Beam. It is not going to KO me, it will not freeze me, and I am going to win the game with my Haxorus here. And it is going to be GG to Kohanx, a 3-0 victory for our first week in the IBL. Oof. So, I'm going back on this game. He's going to go, and he's going to run Heat, try and get helmet damage, try to chip me in range, potentially of something random. So, I'm going to take the victory here, 3-0 over Kohanx. Great game. Really, really good start to the season. Very solid game. I felt like if the Necrozma set was a little more ideal, he might have definitely been able to break through my team a little bit more. But yeah, but everything did its job, honestly. It's a very well-rounded game from everything here. So that is probably going to do it for me today. I will catch you all next week. We play Ogobina in his Miami Mets. And so I'll see you all then.